Okay. Infatuation. It's the ambition hour, baby. It's the ambition hour, baby. It's the ambition hour, baby. Yo, and welcome to the Ambition Hour podcast. It's your girl, Claudia Renee, on your airwaves. And this is episode
It's
176.
the ambition hour, baby.
You.
I'm straight.
It's the ambition hour, baby.
176.
Yo. Hello, everybody, and welcome yet again to another episode of the Ambition Hour podcast. I am your host, Claudia Renee, and I am so honored to be here, joined by my co-host, House 600 in the building.
Joe, we are here. Glad to be here.
I'm glad to have you here because I know you have an official date for your next project.
Oh, yeah. Check it out. Available for pre-order and pre-save on all streaming platforms right now. It is Hop 600, the long-awaited, overdue project by the boy, the kid from San Jose. Dropping another one for you guys. September 24th is now the date, so make sure you say that. It's also, the player's birthday.
It's his birthday.
It's also the best month ever, first episode of September ever, so it's only right that I bless it with these vocals coming through your speakers type shit. So yeah,
I'm excited for that project to drop. Make sure you guys check it out. Like he said, it is dropping September 24th, so make sure that you check it out. Something Hop gonna do is drop some music, so he got some music for you guys. It's his birthday, but he's giving you guys something, so thank you for that, Hav. I needed to let the people know right off the bat
I didn't even think about it like
what
that,
worth the
yeah.
wait what worth the wait had to give like what worth the wait has in store for you guys, right?
right.
Okay, so we're gonna start the episode like how we always do. We're gonna start off with what we're grateful for. If this is your first time listening, we usually start the episode with gratitude, and I'm gonna ask my co-host what he is grateful for this week.
Man, I want to hear what you're grateful for this week. Actually, before I go, I want to flip it on your head. What are you grateful for this week? And we start with gratitude because it determines your attitude here on the Ambition Hour.
I'm grateful to be in a better place. Yeah, I feel like June and July were tough for me, physically, mentally, all around, personally, everything. Like it was just hard on me, and August ended that. I felt like August there was like a pickup in my life, and then we also recorded an episode every single week. So I'm just like grateful for that because, like I said, June and July were not that great. We skipped some episodes. We took a break. We took 2 breaks actually. And to have done 4 episodes in a row and to like feel like, okay, like I'm in the groove more, like it was a lot more slick for us to come in and just like do today's episode. So yeah, it's that. It's, for feeling like, things are better, feeling more like myself.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. I'm grateful for being in control of, I said it earlier when we were outside, and I don't know, I felt like it has some depth to it. Kind of like, you're in control of what happens, and just blessed to do what I'm going to be doing. About to go over to the Bay, about to go back home, recharge, and hopefully get some work done too. So really excited about that. And then, even if like what you want, like it's like the smallest shit. You want a tattoo, you go get the tattoo. You want to see what your hair is blonde, you go get that motherfucker blonde. You know what I mean? Like,
find out. The only way, what is it that I tell you all the time, Hav? I say the only way that you're going to know is if you do it.
Right.
Like there's only one way to find out. So.
And that's the same thing with this music shit. It's on us to what happens to us. So
I feel like we gon' make it.
Shout out to Jada Kiss. Yonkers in the building.
We gon' make it.
D-Block.
For real. I'm excited how we got some new music.
We did.
We finally got an Insecure date of, their last season, when it starts and when it ends. So that's something exciting.
October 24th.
Yes, sir. And then the last episode airs December 26th. So that's going to be awesome. Definitely keeping the HBO subscription for that one.
Bringing us into the holidays.
Yes, sir. Let's go ahead and get started on this Donda album and CLB. So if you guys tuned in last week, we were talking about the albums that we would listen to if they were to drop at the same time. Now, due to date drops, we ended up listening to Kanye first. Kanye dropped on the 29th
On Sunday.
of August. Yes. I feel like
So even if we waited, we would have been damned.
so I feel like that was a great day for him to drop it. I don't know. That day, like when he dropped the album, I was just like, oh, that means that everything that's supposed to happen today is going to happen because this album just dropped out of nowhere. And it's just like, out of all days for it to drop, it's just kind of like, I don't know. It was kind of like, oh, okay, it's going to be one of those days.
That kind of like makes sense.
And then it was a great album. We're definitely going to like some of the things that we did want to talk about was the album because it was, I felt like it was a good project.
What was one of your favorite songs?
I'm going to pull up the track list real quick because I really like it.
Off the bat, I'm going to talk about Hurricane because I know that's
a really good song.
from Yandi, and my Kanye West believers know about Yandi. So yeah, Hurricane was definitely one that I enjoyed. I like No Child Left Behind. I just like that song, and it's bittersweet that it's so short, but it's one of those songs that you wish it was longer, and I kind of like love those songs. I feel like those songs are so, I don't know, they're almost more impressive sometimes than long songs.
Yeah, the shorter ones kind of give you just exactly what you need, and then you can just move on.
And they out.
Yeah. One of my favorites is called Lord I Need You. I really, really like that song. I just love how he like, there's like a vocal in the song that I'm really obsessed with. So that was a really good song for me.
And Jonah.
Oh yeah, that one's a really popular one too. I know that one's a good one, and then Believe What I Say, the one that he samples the Lauryn Hill song.
Oh yeah, doo-wop.
That was another great song as well. I felt like this project was done correctly. So if you haven't, there's a clip going around that this guy posted that it was basically saying how Kanye kind of like stole from the like software, right? Is it from the software companies or something like that? Because they do like, it's like studies. They do like
starter,
They do like starter groups and stuff like that.
Yeah, because they're starter-ups. The starter-up tech companies, they're just starter, and then they do like almost like, what is it called? Group thinking?
Yeah, they do like they basically they basically like test it out with people. And then they're like, oh, okay, so let's maybe fix this. Or I heard somebody say that they didn't like this. Or in the survey, when they did it, they didn't like this, and this, etc.
Right.
So that's something that he is saying that Kanye did, and with the 3 different album listening parties that he had, which I think is genius because I feel like when he saw the reaction for when people had heard, well, if you listen to the album now in its entirety, because I feel like he's dropped other songs. I was telling you that. Am I tripping? Because the one that the baby was on ended up being on the project too when I heard it again today.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing about Universal releasing the album too early.
Oh, that's true, because that was something else that he was kind of like upset about, that they released it. But I feel like those listening parties that he did, we were all able to like listen to it, and then he was able to get the feedback from the internet and be like, oh, okay, this is good. Or even like, because there's going to be people actually in those rooms that maybe are hearing it for the first time. The artists are hearing it for the first time, and then they just say something about it like, hey, maybe we can change this. So, and then seeing the crowd react. And I know the third one, the album listening party. Listen, I knew that project wasn't going to drop the day that it was going to drop, because the listening party started mad late. There was no way we were going to be listening at the listening party, watching the listening party, and then the album dropped. Like, people would leave like, you know what I mean?
Use your mind, people.
Yeah. So as soon as I saw that, I was just like, there's no way. But we recorded the podcast that night, and I stayed up and literally watched the entire thing. And like, Marilyn Manson was there, DaBaby was there, Shenseea was on there, who was on the project. Westside was on there. Is it Westside or Conway?
I think, well, aren't they both on the album?
They probably are. I'm pretty sure it's Westside, because he's the one who just dropped a project too. Is he now? It's been a long day. It's been a long day, but there's a lot of features in this project. We have Lil Baby. We have a J verse that everyone is really excited about. That is a really good song as well. And like how House said, Hurricane is another
Yeah,
popular
the baby
song.
little.
But and the thing is, that
Little
he doesn't
Yachty.
have any of the. We don't know like who's who
Lil
in like
Baby.
these songs. But I know Lil Baby, how House said, Yachty is
The-
on.
The
Isn't
Weeknd.
Uzi on it too?
I think so.
I feel like Uzi has been featured in so many different projects lately. It's absurd. That man doesn't stop. Some of the other features that I liked was the one from Shensia. She's a Jamaican artist.
And Vori kills that hook too.
Let's see what else. So yeah, so make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. I feel like he was very smart in the marketing as far as the album listening parties. I feel like that's important because it makes fans feel like they're part of something. And that's something that like as fans you want to feel like as like a part of like the Kanye West Yeezy type of like, think about it. If you've been listening to Kanye since College Dropout, that's 20 years of listening to an artist. You tend to have a really big connection with this artist despite what they may have said, what they may have done. It's like this is somebody that you have listened to and enjoyed their music for so long. So, of course, it's Kanye. So, Donda was a really good project, I believe.
What do you rate it?
Oh, I wasn't ready for that.
I'm gonna keep on talking about it.
No, I wasn't ready for that because like I was gonna kind of avoid it because I don't wanna like give one because we're gonna talk about both of them.
Okay.
No, okay, so.
What would you rate it? There's
Off of first listen and then the listen
27
that
tracks.
I did today, I would say it's a 9.
It's a 9.
Because
Let the record
I
be
feel
shown.
like it made you feel good. There wasn't cursing, which you don't always need in your music, especially hip hop. I feel like hip hop is beautiful enough that it doesn't need it. I feel like some of the instruments that he used were very smart. The sequencing was perfect. I feel like every single song goes into the next one so eloquently, and it's like it's Kanye, so like you know that we all saw. Like, listen, I feel you, Kanye. I'm a Gemini too. I was going through it too, and I didn't feel good until probably like that weekend. Basically, like I felt like free that weekend, and then that day when the project dropped, like I just felt like so powerful that day. So I feel him, like for him to have dropped it, and then it's like in coincidence with me feeling like myself and getting out of the slump that I was in, and then going into a new week with that project. To me, that was like very powerful. So I mean, I had a little bit more time to listen to this project, and I enjoyed it. So yeah. That was my rating for that one. And then a couple days later, Drizzy said I'm dropping CLB, which is short for Certified Lover Boy. Have. First listen, what do you think?
I think that this is a good project. I mean, I enjoyed it. First listen, what I think is that it's better than Donda. That's the first thing that I thought of immediately. And then I also started thinking about, oh man, like, is this the time kind of like growing up when LeBron James clearly was the best player in the league, and like I was still holding on to Kobe because it's Kobe. So kind of like almost like the same thing with like, dang, instead I'm holding on to Kanye because you're right. I've been listening to him 20 years. He's been influenced in so many ways, more than one. You know, I got his shoes. You know, like it's a lot of things. But yay, but. Damn, I think this Drake project, and it's you know, we are still in the Drake era, you know, like as much as people don't want to say it or not, but like almost like kind of like, damn, you know, like he's good, like let's start appreciating him. And like it's the same thing with like LeBron James, like they're arguably some of the people that are the best to ever do it, you know. And both albums, like enjoy both albums. Like I'm happy as shit we got both of these albums, you know, like definitely not like to block the shine of the other, but. To me, I just like, I don't know. Also, it was kind of more on the vibe that I was on, you know, with Certified Lover Boy. But, you know, I was a little bit more turned. You know, Kanye is a little bit more holy. So, like, and not saying that I ain't, you know, but, like, damn, it was just a little too much. I felt myself sliding out of Donda easier than I did with CLB, even though I still slid out. Well, what I mean by that is, like, I play my own shit. Or there's a song I actually want to hear.
Yeah.
You know, just because I'm driving, because I like listening to music. You know, I like to drive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this cruise. So what did you think about the album on the first listen?
On the first listen, there was some tracks that I didn't get to listen to because I didn't get to like fully listen to because I was doing stuff. I like to listen to projects when I'm, doing stuff around the house. So it was like one of the first things that I started doing once I took Bae for a walk and things like that. So I get to like, that's how I really get to listen to my music, and that's the best way for me to do it. But after the first listen, I felt like it was a really good project. I mean, it's Drake, you know what I mean? I also felt like once I finished it, I was just like, oh, wow, I was literally able to do my entire morning listening to this project, which I love, because the last thing that I want to do is to have to worry about what I'm going to listen to next. So I feel when an artist gives me a project, that's a difference. I love me a 27, 35, however long project, because that to me gives me the ability to just listen to something without having to worry about what's next. So that was something that I enjoyed about the Drake project, because I was able to do all of the things that I needed to do in the morning while listening to the project. So that was like my first thing that I thought of when I listened to the project. Now, as far as the music and the features, I love that he had all the features. We're going to talk about the billboards, of course. Drake did something that was genius, I believe, and I think everybody on the internet agrees with me as well when I say this, because he put billboards in all of the cities that the featured artists were in, and it was just like, hey, like for Miami, it was just like, hey, Miami, the biggest boss is on CLB. For New York, it was just like, hey, New York, the GOAT is on CLB. Then he did one for Thames in Nigeria, like, hey, Nigeria, Thames is on CLB. He did one in LA. He did one in Houston. He did one for all of the featured artists that were part of the project. And I thought that was so genius, because like somebody was saying how billboards, like you shouldn't spend your money on them, you shouldn't see them. But when you're somebody as big as Drake, people are going to take pictures of those billboards, and they're going to be everywhere. People are going to, like, when I saw the one of Miami, I was just like, where is this? I would like to go see it, because it's like, it's almost part of history. But then it's just like, I would literally just go to just take a picture, the same picture that they posted on the internet. So, you know what I mean? So that's why these visuals, they go viral. And that's why it was so important for whoever was in charge of that to have like gotten like crazy amount of money for it, because that was just genius. Like he is getting what what he's getting paid for. So
yeah, exactly.
He's doing what he gotta do, or she, because we don't know if it's a he or she, whoever came up with that idea. So shout out to that person. I also think that another thing that was very smart when it came to marketing is Drake's mom was sending him flowers. I was saying that was Drake sending himself the flowers. What if it was Kanye the whole time?
And with the notes, right?
Yeah, with like the notes, and then like, oh, one more day, and this, and that. I felt like that was another marketing tactic. Maybe not on purpose, but
the world may never know.
Yeah, because like he posted it every time. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, so that the first time I saw it, that's what I thought. I was just like, look at Drake sending himself flowers.
I'm dead.
But so I felt like the marketing was really dope behind that project. And some of my favorite tracks include, of course, the Rick Ross one. Something that I have to point out is that a lot of the features, I felt like a lot of the people that were on the Donda album kind of like just jumped on, like they all jumped on the same flight to go record for Drake's project, because there were a lot of the same ones, because Dirk was on both of them, Lil Baby is on both of them. Who else is on both of them? Jay-Z is on both of them. Oh my goodness. I know there's a couple of there's a couple more. Am I tripping?
No, I think that's about right.
Yeah, there's like there's like a lot of the artists that were on Donda are, working. Listen, I feel it. Listen. Get that money. Lil Wayne is also on this on Uncertified Lover Boy. He's the one with the with Rick Ross.
With the biggest boss.
With the biggest boss. Okay, so one of my favorite songs is Race to My Mind. Do not ask me why, just listen to the song and you'll know why. Like, It is such a good song. I love me a Ty Dolla because Ty Dolla is another one who's on the same on both projects. So Ty Dolla, love that song. I love anything Ty Dolla. The Dirk with Giveon, love it. I love a Dirk feature. It's so dope. And then something else that's cool about his verse is that he shouts out his ladies' cosmetics line. And then he literally mentions that the reason why he said it is because Drake does a whole bunch of streams and a whole bunch of people are gonna listen to him. So listen, I love a man who gonna support his lady even when it's on a song. Of course, I said Jay is on there. Travis Scott ended up being the Houston hero. I felt like that's one of the good songs as well. Thames is on there. That's one of my favorite songs. Fountains.
Yeah, a lot of people like that song.
Yeah, that's a really good song.
The people that I talked to and I asked, hey, what's the highlight? Or like, what's your favorite song on there? That's the song that they told me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, and I wasn't really expecting that from the people that I asked too. So.
Yeah, that was a good song. She was, for those that don't know, Thames is the artist who's featured on Essence by Wizkid, which is that song went crazy. I remember I heard it and it just went crazy and everybody was listening to it. It was the craziest thing ever. It was beautiful to witness. Shout out to Wizkid for that song. But yeah, so Thames is on that track. It's funny because I'm saying like all the songs, but it's because it's so easy to remember the names of the songs when the artist that is featured is on there. Because for me, I was able to be like, oh yeah, so and so is on this, and then then I can see the name there, as opposed to when you go to one of those projects that don't have the names. Because I know there's other artists who do the same thing they don't put the artist, and then you're kind of like, fuck, who the fuck is this? Like, I know this voice, but like I don't know for certain, and now I don't know what song it is, so I can go back to that song.
That 7 a.m. crazy.
That 7 a.m. is crazy, and then the I Miss You Too one, the one with Cutter.
Yeah, I like that one. I think Cuddy sound really good on there. And man, him and Jay don't miss. Him and Wayne don't miss. Him and Ross don't miss. And him and Future don't miss. And that's a fact.
Yeah, Future is on there twice.
Which I like that. I like he's been doing future features like twice. And I would like to see the Ross and Drake project. Give us 6 of those.
Just give me a taste.
Yeah. Just give us a little bit of those.
A little 5 tracks.
And then I will want Drake, Slime, and Future to do a tape together, like Thugga.
Wait, who?
Drake, Future, and Thugga.
Okay, Drake, Future.
To all do it, to do like basically not on What a Time Part 2, but basically like on some shit like that, and then they just add in Thugga now.
Yeah, I mean, I would like that. I mean, I love Drake and Future. I feel like that's so fitting. Like, even with Life is Good, like, that's such a great song. Like, I still listen to that song now because it just like, for me, it's the Future verse.
It's Future for me.
It's Future for me. Like, that's who does it for me. So I'm going to go ahead and rate this project because, as you can tell, I got a little bit more excited about it. 9.5. Shout out to whoever came up with the visual for the cover, because every single person has literally used that cover for something as far as marketing goes. So shout out to Drake's team for that. I feel like the marketing was done correctly. I feel like for an artist like Drake, you don't have to do that type of marketing, but the fact that he does and he puts so much thought into that craft, I think is important. I feel like how Hav is saying, like, people need to appreciate him more. This is me appreciating him more, because to me, it's not just the album that you drop, it's how you drop it and the sequence of how you do it, and the way that you do it. Even the artists that don't do the promo, that to me is like something else that like I admire, because it's just like, I'm Nas. Sorry, I had to say who it was. I'm Nas. Like, I don't have to do all of this promo. I have a motherfucking Grammy. I've been doing this for like 30 years. Like, I don't have to do this. Like, the ones who gonna rock with it. And listen, guys, I'm actually bringing that King's Disease too, because I've been listening to that shit so heavy. And it is so good, and I love it. And it's just like the songs that I liked, like, since I know them more and I know like the verses, it's like, man, this is such a great project. And so, yeah.
What is your album of the year then? Because you got Call Me If You Get Lost, you got the Off Season that's on this year. And of
It's
course,
September, huh? Damn.
I mean, yeah, I mean, but rank them. Where do you have them all right now? Like, what's your number one, number two, number three, number four, number five between Donda, Certified Lover Boy, Call Me If You Get Lost, King Disease 2, and the Off Season.
Okay, so number one for me would be Call Me If You Get Lost.
Call me.
I feel like Tyler did what needed to be done as far as coming out with the new project, coming out with bars.
And we want to call it a rap project. It's a goddamn rap project this time, motherfuckers.
It's like, it's so like intricate and so well thought out, and that man is just a genius. Number two, I would have to go with Off Season, because that's a really good fucking project.
That's a great project.
That is such a good project. Like the mind of J. Cole, and like he just grabbed my attention, that project. I would say King Disease 3. 4, I would have to say Donda, and number 5 would have to be Certified Lover Boy. For me, the reason why, because I feel like I explained some of them, but for me, the reason why I would put him at number 5 is because I think about like the full picture when it comes to at least hip hop. When I think about Drake, I think more like, I feel like he only did like the hardcore shit with the Ross song. You know what I mean? And I also, do not kill me, I feel like there isn't a song that like I'm gonna go and be like, oh my God, I want this to play when I go out. Like, I didn't feel that either. I didn't feel that with Donda, but it's just kind of like there's most of these albums, there's songs that I wouldn't want to hear when I'm out dancing anyway. And I feel like with Drake, we always get that. And I feel like this project didn't give me that. So for that, you're number 5.
You don't want to dance to that Tim song or whatever?
Thames, I mean, I just feel like it could have been a little bit more sped up. I feel like that's something that I needed. Like maybe like, because that song that he has like, maybe I'm thinking of like Views, because I'm thinking of like a Controller, and I'm thinking like one of those, or even like, I guess like that Way Too Sexy, because that's the one that has the music video. Did you get to watch it, Hav?
Yeah.
It's really funny. It's Drake, Future, the Young Thug song, and Kawhi Leonard is in the video, and they're doing like a Backstreet Boys
type shit.
Okay,
stole my flow, man. It was
a pretty funny video, and it was directed by Dave Meyers, I want to say is his name. If I said it wrong, I apologize, but he's somebody who's been making like really dope music videos for as long as I can remember. So he's like worked with Britney, like I want to say Missy Elliott. He's worked with so many different artists like since like I was young. So shout out to him for working with Drake, because I mean, hello. It's the boy. The boy. Yeah, so that was a pretty exciting week in hip hop, because think about it, like Kanye and Drake both drop at the same time essentially.
And we heard the Kendrick too, Family Ties.
And we ended up hearing, yes, the Kendrick song. I also did a poll on my Instagram, so let's go ahead and see which
is the song. I know that's the song that I'm going back to the most out of all the Kendrick song. Well, that's not even Kendrick song, it's Baby Keem. I need to stop playing, but I'm listening to that. I definitely have that on repeat a lot.
Okay, so on my Instagram, I asked
the people, the audience, the world of the gram.
I asked, who do y'all think got a better album, Donda or Certified Lover Boy? And I did the poll a little late, but the percentage was 27% said Donda and 73% said Certified Lover Boy.
Got some smart followers. Now I'm kidding. I ain't trying to stir nobody up or hype anybody up, but man, I mean, we'll see. So far, I did another poll, and I think it was,
which one?
It was Donda that was up there. I did your poll, of course, too. You know, and I said the same thing. You know, Certified Lover Boy gang. But yeah, I don't know. The House 600 is coming out September 24th. Make sure you guys go pre-order that. Tell a friend to stay alert. We're going to do, we're going to do a little bit more rollout, and music video coming soon.
Okay. Check my dog out. I'm super excited for you. Something that I love is seeing people around me chasing their dreams and doing what's good for them. So Oh boy, we're gonna have to review your album too, Hop.
Hey, let's do a review. Why not?
Let's do a review.
Yeah.
Let's get an official review over here. That's gonna be pretty exciting. I'm excited. To me, Hav keeps saying that September is like the best month ever.
Best month. Of all
And
time.
it's funny because like him saying that the first day of September kind of like set me up for greatness for the rest of the month. I feel like that's another thing that contributed to my like attitude changing and like how I was thinking and feeling and all of those things, because it was just like, oh my God. Like another thing, it was like I was grateful to get over those months that I was just like so over. I was so overwhelmed. I was stressed. I was probably depressed. That rhymes.
Bars.
For real. I'll be freestyling on the low.
Yeah, but definitely, man. September is the best month. I mean, and then all the rest of these months closing out the year are awesome. But
Yeah, I
September
can't wait till November.
is the only month with the song as popular and as recognizable as that song right there. That's my parents' song too. So, and but hey, Matt said some real shit though. He was just like, man, it's because everybody has babies. I mean, everyone like has sex during like the end of the year or like during January and stuff like that. So it's not really like the best time. It just happens to be that everyone's getting pregnant at this time.
Everybody's fucking on New Year's.
On cozy season is
It's
approaching.
cuffing season.
Yeah, it's approaching.
What's up, Bob? You finna cuff somebody for this season?
Shit, someone daughter need to get cuffed up, man. If she want to get treated right, you know. But you know, we got standards, you know. So
you know how sometimes I'd be like, fuck it, fuck these standards. I'ma just like see what's up real quick. And then sometimes I'm like, you know what? It's not even that deep.
that deep.
I said no, deep, just regular deep.
This is another podcast. I don't know what happened.
Pause. Okay, so like how we talked about earlier this episode, Insecure is gonna be ending soon. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the season that we were on for Insecure. Let me just make sure.
We're gonna talk about the second half of season 1.
Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, I have gone back and listened to the Ty Dolla and Division album.
I heard that album was really good.
You haven't heard it?
I haven't heard it. My bad.
The funniest part is I heard it was good. What? You mean we did an entire episode? Didn't we?
I didn't talk about it.
Oh yeah.
I didn't really touch on it too much because
I liked it because number one, I love Division, and number two, I love Ty Dolla Sign. Like, period. Like both of them are so dope, and then I felt like them doing something together was just great. And then I like the samples that they used. I felt like they executed them very good. So that I just saw it in my list. So from like another episode. So I was just like, let me just talk about that real quick. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start off with episode 5 from Insecure, the first season. This is when Issa fucks Daniel. Hav, now you remember when this happened. Mm-hmm. You were there when things got heated.
Yeah, I was okay excited. Well, excited.
Were you? Yeah, because...
Well, cause I was happy because, I don't know, I fucked with kind of like how this vibe or this connection that she seemed to have with this guy, Daniel. You know, and I was a little bit invested into that relationship. I guess, you know, just kind of seeing like... You know, like what the show's kind of sets up of, and I think the show does a great job when it goes down in later seasons, but we'll get to that another time.
Yeah.
But like with Lawrence, you know, him not being so much of a likable character, you know.
They kind of paint him out to be that
right, yeah. So like
lazy ain't shit boyfriend.
So right, but sometimes we've, you know, we become that guy, and we are that guy sometimes, especially when we are comfortable in a relationship, and complacent. So, yeah, I was kind of like, damn, go Issa, I guess.
Get it, girl. For me, listen, Daniel's fine. And, I mean, if it happens, it happens. To me, I don't think it should have happened when she was in a relationship. I think that was, like, the worst part of it, of the whole thing, is her actually, like, just having sex with him. So,
well, now you think about it, I'm actually upset that, you know, she did not really communicate with her significant other.
Yeah.
And tell him, you know, kind of like, yeah, they're wrapped up. Yeah, that's actually very true, because that's actually the most shiciness. Even, like, the cheating aside and all that shit, and you having sex by this other dude.
Yeah. I felt like she...
More of that. Like, you didn't even tell me. You didn't even speak up. Stupid bitch.
There's times as women that maybe we don't know that we want to have sex with somebody, but we do know that there is a type of connection that we probably shouldn't be left alone type of thing, you know, like there's like,
and y'all be knowing when y'all don't want to be with somebody no more.
When you're in a relationship, I feel like when you're in a relationship, you know that there's like a dude that you shouldn't be alone with because you have a boyfriend, and temptations will arise.
Let me tell you about.
Oh, okay, that one too. Yes. So that's just something that to me, like her, you know, being so nice to him and then staying with him at the studio and then all of these things, like there's just some things that like as a girlfriend you should not be doing, and that was one of them. Another thing was that she didn't feel like shit until she went to go wash her hands and the soap dispenser was there, and it reminded her of her man because of a previous scene that was, I don't know if it was that episode or the episode before, but it was like they were at the store and she basically said, you know, told her man that, you know, he could pick whichever, that they could get the soap dispenser. It was a lotion dispenser. But so that's what made her think about her man. And then she kind of like was kind of regretting everything. So to me, like how I said, she wasn't shit for cheating on her man. Period. Like, you just don't do that. Like, I said it. Daniel is fine and I would do it too. But if I was single, you know, like that's just like how it is. I feel like even if your man or you don't know how to communicate with him, there's just, I don't get cheating. That's my thing. I don't understand it. Like when I find out that somebody is doing it, it's kind of like, but what? Like you over here in two relationships and I'm over here single. like how does that, not in like a bad way towards me. It's more kind of like, you know that you don't have to do that, right? Like there isn't always a necessity for you to like be happy if you're in another relationship or something like that. So I don't know. That's why I say that I don't understand cheating. So therefore I did not understand Issa cheating on her boyfriend.
Issa.
So, but I guess, girl, go ahead, get it. Go get it. And in the studio, listen, I want to do it in the studio too. Being someone that loves music, come here, boy. So, and the next episode is episode 6.
So
this is like the aftermath of the cheating. She's feeling all the feels, all the guiltiness. There's like a mopey face, and then she's kind of like being extra with her boyfriend. Ladies, listen, if y'all cheat, y'all know what I'm talking about. Because it's that kind of like trying to hype him up, but not like too much because you just cheated on him. And and then when he asks you what's wrong, you're just kind of like, oh no, I'm just tired. You're tired because you was cheating. Like, cheating is tiresome.
She
like
was out there wide open. That's what she was.
Wide,
shout out Mama Flight.
Wide open, baby. So in continuance of the episode, they go shopping somewhere and they end up stopping by to look at some wedding rings, and he's like telling her to try on a wedding ring, and she like walks away. So because of course the guilt and the, you know, she's tired from like having to hold this secret, and so she just walks away. She's like, I don't even have the strength to put on this ring right now because number one, I was cheating, and number two, like my mind is, she was out there wide open. So I feel like Lawrence was trying to do this to like show her like, hey, I'm serious. Like, I want to be with you. Like, I understand that like I'm going through this right now, but I still want to be with you and I still see a future with you because I am showing you this here. I want to see what you're interested in. I want to see how it fits, how it even looks. Do you love it? Can I afford it? You know, things like that.
That's so true, because I guess his intentions were always to marry Issa. You know, and his intention was that, so he, you know, he knew that, because they usually say like you knew within the 2, 3 years, 4 years that, you know, the first couple years that you guys are together, if you really do want to marry that person or if you don't.
Yeah.
So, that definitely was a good point out, because he was that was him trying to make that move and kind of say, hey, because he whatever
also,
it is too, we'll figure it out, like.
Because he was also like on the verge in the relationship where it was kind of like, dang, I know I'm fucking up. How can I fix this? Who do I have to become now? Do I have to become the husband to like show her that I'm serious about this relationship? So I felt like that's where it was going. And then Issa, of course, like it just like it was just like too much for her. So I get her. On the other hand, Molly is going through a low-key crisis because she ends up finding out that the dude that she's messing around with actually had sexual intercourse with another man. And so she couldn't stand that because it was just like, how dare you have sex with another man? And it was like she automatically went to, what was it? What Kelly does?
Kelly does, yeah.
Oh my God. I can
cross-sorting?
Yeah, that she, no, it was just like, she says somebody, Lee Daniels. She's just like, oh, so is somebody straight? And then it's just like someone's dick, and then now you're Lee Daniels type of thing. Oh. Yeah, so because Lee Daniels is he's a gay director, if I'm not mistaken. So
shout out Lee Daniels. He had a couple good.
Yeah, he does have like a couple good shows and everything. So shout out to him. I want to say he's the one who's in charge of Empire, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I sometimes confuse shows. So
I'll be high.
And this is actually gin and whatever it is I'm drinking. But
yeah, that company don't pay us enough to say it. So keep on going.
What you say?
I said that company doesn't pay us enough to say it.
You're right, they don't. Okay, so moving along about that. So she ends up telling her friends like, hey, so I found out that he had like he basically fucked a dude. We've talked about this before. I know we've talked about this before because this was something that like I remember thinking like, what the fuck? How would I it's so different. We always say this for men. If they found out that their girl did something with another woman, for them it's just like, oh, for real, how was it? And they want to hear everything. When a man does it, a woman is just kind of like, what the fuck? Like, you're gay. Like, are you gonna leave me for a man? And it's kind of like for women, that's like a big ego like killer. It's just like, I'm not woman enough for you because you don't even like. I'm not even enough for you because you like men. Like, that's crazy. But you can't think like that, baby girl. You gonna miss out on the king because you over here thinking that he's gay when he told you he ain't like it. So that's what ends up happening with Molly. So that ends up unraveling. That takes her and sways her to move away from homeboy. So shout out to him. I mean, he was Mr. Enterprise. We can call him that. I know his name was Jared though. That she met at an open mic, which I think is dope. Listen,
episode 1, right?
Yeah, in episode 1.
Episode 1, yeah.
Okay, so moving forward to the next episode 7. This is when Molly ends up meeting somebody while she's walking, and one of her old friends, somebody that she used to party with all the time, and the friend mentions that she's been going to therapy, and Molly automatically thinks like, oh, you're crazy, like, you good, like what you need therapy for? And it's because it's such a cliche, like in minority families and minority groups, and to not do therapy because it makes you look crazy. So I felt that on a lot of points when she said that. And so her friend ends up telling her, I guess, like how well it was. And then she mentions it to Issa, and Issa tells her like, hey, you should, maybe try therapy, which to me, y'all know how I feel about therapy, even though I haven't gone to it. I think that everybody should do it because I just think it's just such a great escape and a way for you to find out who you truly are and your true authentic self. So yeah, this is also the day of the fundraiser. So the fundraiser is basically for the students that Issa and her job work with. And it was basically just raise some money to help the school because it was in a low income neighborhood and the kids had never been really exposed to things like nice things, or even saw that in their own neighborhood there's like really big houses and things like that. So Daniel ends up showing up to the fundraiser because he got invited because he was one of the guests at their like what was it, like the career day? Yeah, it was like the career day. So he gets invited. He ends up showing up. And of course, you end up seeing Lawrence, and you see Issa freaking out, like, what's really going on? What are you doing here? And then her having to go talk to him, and that's when.
Man, Jared's a nasty dude, though. Why the hell he let that guy do that? My bad. I'm over here like disgusted. Jared, or what's his name?
Oh, you're funny. Why he let that man do that?
Oh my God. Ugh. Like just like oh my God. Okay, my bad. Keep on going. you were cooking up.
No, but like as a man, you saying that, it kind of opens my eyes because as a woman, I wouldn't think of it that way. I would think of it like, oh, maybe he like wanted to experience that.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, because then doesn't he explain it kind of like, oh, and then he just like went down on me or some shit
Yeah.
or whatever like that. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, it's like, I don't know. Like, if you just touched me like below the thigh or around the thigh, or you're like, oh, get off of me. Like, I don't know.
I feel like there's just some people who are more open to finding out.
That's also, yeah.
You know, and that's something that shouldn't be frowned upon or like looked at bad. I feel like it's just like, bro, you're exploring your sexuality. Go a fucking head. I mean, if I feel like as a woman, like I can only speak for myself, actually. I can't even speak for women because like I feel like for me finding that out and then you telling me like, hey, it's not something that I found, like, because his thing, and I want to point it out, his thing was, I found that it wasn't for me. Like, I knew that moment that it wasn't for me. Like, I tried it, and it wasn't for me, and, you know, as a woman, you either accept it or you don't. Molly didn't. Unfortunately, that sucks, because he was pretty cool. But, I mean, it's not always going to go how you think it's going to go with these shows. So, Daniel is at the fundraiser. Issa goes up to him and tells him, hey, like, what are you doing here? Like, you're fucking crazy. My boyfriend is here, etc. She tells him that he was just a scratch, that she had an itch. I mean, an itch that she just had a scratch. I thought I killed that too. He was an itch that she had to scratch. So, listen, I done had an itch or two. So I feel her. It happens. Listen, baby girl, but you also got a man. Listen, the thing is that I posted this on my Instagram the other day. And it's just like, I don't know who needed to hear this, but whatever you're going through is your fault. Bitch, you stressed as fuck about this dude. So you wouldn't have been this stressed if you didn't fuck him. Like it would have just been like, oh fuck, Daniel is here, you know, like the dude who I went to high school with, who I kind of like wanted to do something with, but I, you know, realized I was with my boyfriend and like I knew I couldn't do anything with him. No, bitch, you fucked him. That's why you was pressed. So
what do you think about the emotional cheating though too? Since we didn't really talk about it, but like when he shows up for that, because that's how he knows about it. Because he shows up to her job and like does stuff for the kids, like he basically kind of helps her out. He looks out for her.
And then yes, he like looks out for her and like that. And then like he knows that she has a boyfriend. But that's the thing.
Now he's still like
that's the thing. Another thing that like I keep learning, because there's some cheating going on around me. But like something that I'm learning is that
like, that looked like a dance move. It's like, oh shit.
Like something that I'm learning is that it's not the other person. It's not the other person's fault. Like you can like blame them. Like for me, I'm quick to blame because it's like I wouldn't have done that. You know, like me knowing that this person is in a relationship, I just couldn't find myself to just go ahead and fuck. I don't even, with somebody that's not that I'm not in a relationship with, that is single, I don't even do that. So like I couldn't even find myself to do that with somebody who was in a relationship. That's me. So when I go like I wouldn't do that, why would this person do that knowing that you're in a relationship? Like what the fuck is up with you? So that's something that I'm learning and working on.
trying to let go.
I'm trying to let go because I feel like yes, but like it's really the person who cheated's fault. So
11-11.
It's 11-11. Yeah. So listen, Issa.
My numbers.
You done got yourself on there. So Lawrence puts 2 and 2 together in a little bad weather, and he gets home. Issa gets home and it's not going well for her. He's like sitting. Listen, when you
because they talk. My bad.
Yeah, listen. When you
to him.
Yes, Lawrence and Daniel end up talking.
They have a conversation.
All he says was, "Oh, what's your connection? What we got y'all?" And then Daniel says, "So serious, I don't have one anymore."
Yeah, for real, I thought we was watching Black Panther real quick.
Like what? Like
how did he get so serious?
How did like I don't have one anymore? And then he gets in his car or whatever. So I guess Lawrence finds some shit or asks. Oh no, he asked Issa, yes, and then he sees him there, and then he asks Issa, and then Issa ends up telling him. He goes fucking crazy. Okay, So that's how episode 7 ends. And for the final episode and how we will be wrapping up the episode is Issa and Molly aren't that cool because of what happened at the fundraiser. They each said some things to each other that were very honest, but of course you don't want to hear that shit.
Right. She basically said she doesn't even appreciate Lawrence.
Yeah, and this is the first episode where Issa and Lawrence aren't together. And this is also the episode where Issa, Molly, Tiffany, and Kelly. Wow, my favorite character. Yeah, for some, I was gonna call her because her name is Natasha. That's what I was gonna say. Her real name is Natasha. And so they end up going to a trip for Kelly's birthday, and Molly ends up getting drunk and she ends up fucking some dude, and so does Kelly. And listen, I ain't even mad at that, because what's a girl's trip without the girls who fuck who they want? I mean, that's their business. That ain't my business. So this also is the episode where we find that Lawrence is actually missing Issa. We kind of see that. You know, it's the first episode that they're not together, but then you also see him like kind of wanting to be a bad boy, but then thinking about her, so not wanting to be that bad. Ends up calling her. She ends up driving back home from Malibu, and Lawrence is not there like she thought he would be. And something that was important that Jav and I both pointed out was that, like, that first trip after a breakup, like how that goes. And it's kind of like you don't want to be the sad person, but you're really sad.
Everybody knows, and everyone's kind of like bringing it up. So like, hey, what's up with
It's like, fuck.
Bruh, can we talk about something?
Can we talk about the fucking grass that is growing on the ground? I would rather talk about that than talk about my ex or anything that has to do with that, because I am still like mourning right now. How so you're on the trip. Do you wild out when you're on the trip, or do you like
old Hav or new Hav? What are we talking about?
I'm talking like right now.
Right
Let's
now?
say you end up with a shawty and some shit happens down the line, maybe 4 years, and you go on a trip with the boys. You out? What you doing? you out here?
I am all the way out there. Let me tell you that much. I'm gone beyond past. The Bad Bunny. What? I'm not your type anymore.
Oh, you gotta look at me that like I know.
Yeah, and that all that too. Yeah. Oh yeah, what's the song that I heard today that actually fits perfectly with this shit?
I feel like I am one heartbreak away from that. Like, I just need it to happen one more time and to hurt really bad for me to just wild the fuck out. Like, I might go into my whole phase.
Straight up. I might go to, that's crazy. And I know you're co-signing like a motherfucker.
Because listen, like, I never had one, so if it happens, it happens. That's like, listen, we were talking about albums and like long-awaited albums, but listen, I need that new summer. I need that new summer like yesterday, because I was listening to Over It.
Pero ya no.
Oh,
That song
that's the song that you love.
No.
Oh no, this is a different one.
But go ahead. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, summer. I heard that there's a new album coming out, and supposedly Sean Garrett is producing.
Yes, and so this is gonna be. I'm excited to hear this because I loved her at London, but unfortunately that did not work out.
Galactahor.
That's why sometimes you should just like leave it as it is. Like, you're my producer. That's it. Because then we don't get we don't get a second project like from YouTube creating music. And I felt like Over It was just such a perfect masterpiece. And I'm not saying that she cannot recreate that. I'm just saying that I loved her and London together.
I heard that the door is open though. London just got to get right. She's saying that she's got some growing up
she
to
out
do.
here Bruno Mars. I'ma leave the door open. I haven't practiced those the melodies. I haven't. It's been a minute since I actually heard a song, because I listen to a lot of shit. Listen, I need to tell you, I'm gonna start like coming here and say the songs that I have on repeat, at the moment. I feel like Audie's repeat. So Audie's repeat this week.
We might have to replace that with the gratitude. My bad.
The song that I have on repeat this week is See You Again by Tyler, the Creator, featuring Kali Uchis. Fucking love that song. I listened to the Drake project and I listened to Donda and I still played that song multiple times. Like, I don't know what Tyler, the Creator, put in that song, but it might be like Love Dust or something like that, because it is just like perfect, especially for my emotions and like what I'm feeling. So I feel like that's a song that I have on heavy repeat right now. So if you haven't heard that song, go ahead and listen to it. I also wanted to mention that I saw his Tiny Desk performance for the first time. I hadn't seen it.
Classic.
But I got someone told me to watch it, so I ended up watching it. So really great watch, which made me want to watch the Lollapalooza performance, which was amazing. Guys, I cannot wait until the Tyler, the Creator concert. I am so excited. How I was just like, you got 6 months to learn these lyrics, but like, what are you doing?
Man, now because I was just thinking about it, like, man, damn, that's a long time. 6 months in advance. But hey, we're gonna be seeing Tyler, the Creator.
I'm super excited. I also wanted to shout out John Fifth, who dropped a freestyle with Rare, which is one of the songs from Nas and Hit Boy's project. He did it on Lyrical Flexercise. So shout out to Vontae for that too. That was really good. I was really excited to hear that verse the freestyle, because number one, I knew that they were doing it, and I talked to them about it, and like it was just really dope to like kind of like see it before, and then like it finally dropped. So it was really cool. I really liked it. So make sure that you go ahead and check that out. It is available. I want to say it's on his Instagram and on his YouTube. So John Fifth. It's very easy to spell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's very simple. It's
Rare
actually
is also easy to spell too. So.
Rare is also easy to spell. So make sure that you guys go ahead and check that out. Like I said, we're gonna be Jav is gonna be dropping his project September 24th. Mm-hmm. So you can pre-order that today. So make sure that you go ahead and do that. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Listen, when you on YouTube, I think it's this one. And I think we're in the time too. So is this one, bitch? Yes. Okay. So is this one. So you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If not, you can also check out the episode that's over here or the playlist that I put, whichever. Now I'm going to have to either put, I think it's a playlist, guys. So here's the playlist. All right. Bam. Okay. And for
That's how you do that.
Guys, remember we were still in a pandemic. So make sure that you wash your hands, wash your ass, drink your water, and mind your business. And for the 176th time in a row, it's your girl, Claudia Renee, on your airwaves. And my co-host, House 600, in the building. And we are out of here. Bitch, it's 176,
hour,
bitch.
It's the ambition hour, baby. It's the ambition hour, baby.
I'm straight.
You know what it is. And it's just like that.